please allow me to share my PowerPoint.
Okay, it's already shown, Pak.
Okay. I would like to talk today about innovation ecosystem in the case of FinI creations as one topic in the science for and with society in dealing with global pandemic topic in this webinar. To have our invention, we need to think outside of actors. One is enabling environment. The second is resources. Why enabling environment is needed? You know that in Indonesia, I have to give respect to our friends inside LIPI recently, because even though the research funding is not so big, but LIPI show a big, strong development in the term of intellectual property. But mostly in Indonesia, there is very small number of invention. Why? One reason is because there is no enabling environment in Indonesia. For instance, in universities, there is no river, there is no good reason for us, for lecturers, to submit patents or to make prototype. There is no cumulative reward for that. But if you show your achievement in the form of paper, there is a reward from government. Enabling environment in Indonesia even worse than that. Let's see, is it any single government-owned company having big spending in research and development? No. PLN, Telkom, Pertamina, almost zero. Why? Because there is no indication of KPI, key performance indicator for them to achieve a research and development. Even non-government, non-department or departmental research and development body, no KPI on achievement. So enabling environment in Indonesia is very poor, so that there is not enough push for people, for actors inside Indonesia to achieve something. The second, we have actually much resources of people. Even though the quality of people is not good enough, material actually to some extent we have, but you know that industry that produce that proceed raw material into material ready for industry is very rare in Indonesia. We export coal, we export copper from Papua, but no indication till now that, for instance, Freeport really will realize the plan of a processing plant in Gresik. Only 1.5% progress right now. Fund is very, very low. very little is allocated by government and by other institutions. Both environment and resources is not very good actually. Today, President Jokowi told us that we must strengthen the triple helix. What is triple helix? That's government, academia, and industry. I have to say to you, unfortunately, that is textbook minded. In reality, it's almost zero. Why? Because we have no central actor inside. The second, research and development in Indonesia, especially which is created inside universities and research bodies, lack of involvement of users, lack of involvement of we call it customer voice. So very much research results in Indonesia, I'm not saying development, just research, ended in paper, ended in exhibition, exposure, not ended in the use of that. It's in contrary to what Professor Nurul want us to do that, memanfaatkan. I strongly believe that science that can be beneficial to us, to the creator, is the science that is utilized, not that is just shown in paper or in journal, not that like one. Why? It's very simple. Now we are using technology, and we must pay for that. We use handphone, we use this gadget and others. We must pay for that. We feel that we are rich enough to buy that from other countries, from other nations. What kind of money we pay for that? We pay for the handphone, for the computer, for the car, for the airplanes, and others, by coal, CPO, and fish maybe. All are cultivated, all are extracted from nature, not from our head. At the same time, for instance, Japan can preserve the nature very clean, very lovely. Why? Because they don't need to exploit the nature to buy for something for their life, because they use their mind, their creativity, their invention to pay for that. We are not doing that. Not a single body inside government, big corporate, even individuals who have enough dream and dare to take risk for that dream. Government right now in November are busy, brain busy to spend money. Pak Nurul, I really believe you know that now hotel is fully booked by government officials to spend money, because if they don't spend money, next year the funding will be cut. They must spend money. even now, Fenty is being purchased by Brain and must be completed before the end of November. But right now, the proposal is not clear yet. When can we make the Fenty and others, including from Lipi? I know there is a kind of equipment for coffee. There is no KPI to read something, to make something that is useful. Just spend money. That's in government level. In corporate level, I've said that PLN, Telkom, Pertamina, big companies spend very little money for development. Even universities like ITB, University of Indonesia and others, has no enough dream to achieve something outside that is drawn by government, that we must achieve something that with KPI, say, with class universities, with citation index, and so on and so on. Not have our dream and not have a courage to take risks, to read something that is not prescribed before. But again, most of the researchers inside the universities also not have enough dream. That is something useful. That is something out of the box. Just doing something that is to achieve what's so-called a citation index and so on and so on. It's very poor. So that there is no invention in Indonesia. Almost there is no invention, with little exceptions. I have to honor and give respects to people such as Professor Nurul and others in LIPI and other institutions who dare enough to have own dream and to take risks to do something. Why? Because actually we need entrepreneur. Without entrepreneurship at the government level, at academic level, at business level, there is no achievement. There is no invention. I've many times asked, what is the biggest hurdle to do invention? I have to say, mental status. The first mental status is feel as if we were rich. We are not realizing that we are poor. Please remember, Korean people are told by their government, we are poor. If we don't work hard, we will die. Japanese also. China's also. Every nation who has certain achievement must feel that they are poor, not feel that we are rich, can buy anything by sacrificing our nature, so that every year we experience flash flood. Every year we experience drought. Every year, again and again, we experience the smoke. Why? Because we exploit our nature out of its capacity. Because we feel that we are rich by that. We are not challenged to do something that creates something that is useful for our people. We are feel enough that is enough for us if our work in, say, in research is citated, is quoted, not not realized in something useful. What I mean something useful is not always hardware. It may be software. It may be system. It may be a kind of decision making. Okay, if we have entrepreneur, then we can gather the user, investor, inventor, engineer, and supporter to do something to make invention. Without entrepreneur, we cannot do that. I make let me make an example of Fenty. In the beginning of pandemic, March, I decided not to give up. At that time, ITB is locked down. Till now, ITB is locked down. People as age of me, more than 55 years, is not encouraged to come to the campus. I cannot reach my equipment inside my laboratory at that time. I couldn't. But I understand. I must do something to help our college medical doctors and paramedics who work hard for us. Till now, about 130 doctors are died due to corona. I'm called to help them by doing something. But there is no equipment, there is no fund, but even there is no access to the campus. But I must start. So I take decision to take money from public by crowdfunding. I make pledge. I will make 100 units of ventilators which is useful for pandemic patients, and not government, but public do investment. Regarding the user, I ask, when first prototype come up, I ask, please, doctor, I need your review. At that time, the same time I launched the Indonesian ventilator, which is not named yet, MIT launched what's so called as open ventilator system. Very much. 12 out of 14 researchers in Indonesia copycat that idea from MIT. I told my students at the time, please be proud. Today, we are ahead of MIT because MIT doesn't ask what is needed by doctors to tackle with pandemic. MIT ventilator is not used until now. And so the copycat from Indonesia, from all over the world. In my case, I asked doctors, what is really needed? And doctor told me that what is needed by corona patient is the simplest type of ventilator, that is CPAP. By doing so, by focusing on certain type that is very simple from ventilator, we manage to make it up to until now 1,350 units and spread out to more than 200 hospitals from Aceh to Papua. easily used. Complex ventilator that is usually we found in ICU can only be operated in Indonesia by not more than 300 specialists who is certified to operate complex ventilator. Our ventilator can be operated by general doctors, even by paramedics. We have to be confident enough that technology is not rated by its sophistication, but more rated by its function. That is the use of user voice or customer voice. I urge you, young people, to hear, to be humble, to hear the voice of customer, and to be entrepreneur, to take your own dream and to take risks to perform out of the box. By that, we can do invention. And next, from invention to innovations, there are another actors. We need fabricator, we need trader, we need regulator. Again, we need investor. Until now, I have to say to you all, all the funding for Fenty come from public, not from government. Government did ask me to apply for a proposal to be funded by government. But till now, not a single rupiah. Not a single rupiah. So we must understand that in certain cases, government cannot be asked for funding. It's too late, and the KPI is not the reach. The usage of the equipment. The KPI is to spend money, so that there is not much we can hope from government. In future, network by digital age enable us to snitch people, infrastructure, economic asset, and enabling environment to do something to make invention and further to make innovation. And we see that in future, a bigger portion of innovation will be done by people, by startups, instead of big companies and government. In case of America, for instance, in 60s, government did the role of the entrepreneur by saying we must reach moon before the end of this decade, and they spend. Government have a dream, government spend money. Big companies in America, such as Apple, IBM, and others, also spend money to realize their dream. So they achieve invention and innovations. A similar situation doesn't happen in Indonesia because government has not enough dream. They are busy with their own business, till now. Big companies and big corporates in Indonesia also busy, but not busy with their own dreams. Busy to fulfill the KPI that is dictated by government. If you young people want to do something in Indonesia, to make invention, to make innovations, please be out of the box. Have your own dreams, take risks, to do something, and you will gain the support from public. That's the end of my presentation today. Thank you.